Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, dear authors and invited guests. Welcome to Technical Session 8C. Myself, Karthik Bharadwaj, and this session would be moderated by me. On behalf of Global Knowledge Research Foundation and GR Solistic LLP, it's my great pleasure to welcome you to the 8th World Conference on Smart Trends in Systems, Security and Sustainability, WS4 2024, London, UK. The 8th edition of the conference is being organized in a hybrid mode. The physical event was organized on 23rd in London, UK, and the virtual event is being held through Zoom from 24 to 26 July 2024. I hope you will enjoy the knowledgeable and interactive session throughout the day. In this session, we have 6 presentations. Each presenter will be given 12 minutes for their presentation and 3 minutes for question-answer round. On 10 minutes, I will raise a gentle reminder. There is another request to all the participants to stay connected with us till the closing remark. If you have any query or update, you can write it to me in the chat box. So moving forward, I would like to introduce you with today's session chair, Dr. Anubhava Jain. Dr. Anubhava Jain is working with as a director, School of Computer Science and IT, IIS, deemed to be a university, Jaipur, an academician for last 22 years. She has actively contributed in teaching industry and R&D. Her research interests include soft computing, computational courses studies, IoT, software engineering. I request ma'am to kindly motivate our participants.
Hello, Harshad. Namaskar, everybody. So I wish all the best to all the participants, and I'm sure everybody is going to share a wonderful research work that they have already done. Everybody is working hard, so their research is going to be very good. So we'll just exchange thoughts and knowledges, and I'm just here to give few remarks and suggestions to them, feedback on their work. So all the best, everybody. Let's start the session.
Thank you, ma'am, for such a warming welcome. Now, I would love to extend my welcome towards our next session chair for Professor Zalafika. She has scientific research in the field of mathematics, information system, ULAP, neural networks, data mining, teaching experience in higher education, specialities, mathematics, automatic system for data processing and management. I request ma'am to kindly motivate our participants.
Hello, everybody. It is a great pleasure for me to chair this session. I wish success to all presenters, and I suppose that this session will be very useful for our future research.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Thank you, ma'am, for such a warm welcome. Now, let's move towards the first presentation of the day. For the first presentation, I would like to call Dimitrios for the paper title, Cognitive Neural Evaluation Toolkit for Medical Domains, Evaluating Large Language Models, Performance in Medical Diagnosis and Assessment Framework and Dataset for Healthcare AI. Presenter, you can proceed with your presentation.
Hello, everyone. Give me a moment to share my screen. Can you see it? Yeah, great. So thank you very much for the introduction and for having me. I'll be presenting this paper, which has been co-authored by a group of computer scientists and medical doctors from the University of Athens and University of Piraeus in Greece. Initially, I will give some introductory context, some related work and background theories, and then I'll present the materials and methods that we use to create the Cognitive MD database and benchmark. I will also present a use case where we apply Cognitive MD to a model and test the results. Some highlights about our research and future work will be presented in the end. So the medical domain is a field that can greatly benefit from the use of AI-empowered applications, especially now with the rise of large language models that power multimodal conversational agents. But due to the fact that they draw information from a vast knowledge space, there are frequent hallucinations. So in specialized fields, efficiency and safety is very important, especially in the medical domain. And the shortage of new independent unseen medical data sets can be an issue. Benchmarks are used to assess the capacity of such models, where testing parameters are defined, and based on those, a score is produced, and comparison can be drawn between capacity of different models. The medical domain is indeed a very vast and complex knowledge space by default, usually split into 3 layers based on the level of provided care. As can be seen here, we have primary care, where knowledge is greater but complexity is lower. And moving on, secondary care, breadth of knowledge decreases, but complexity increases. And tertiary care, complexity is at the max, where knowledge can be reduced even more. Validation in the medical domain has been the main incentive for us creating this data set and benchmark, whereas lack of validation can create great barriers, friction to the deployment of applications empowered by LLMs or other generative technologies. In the related work, we have identified many data sets and benchmarks to be used in various natural language understanding tasks. And specifically, there are medical benchmark and data sets where LLMs show above average potential and accuracy, leading us to a conclusion that much, if not all, of those data sets have been used in training those large language models that can create a confirmation bias. So for that, we introduced CogNetMD, a medical MCQ-based database with evaluation guidelines, as can be seen here. CogNetMD can be downloaded from Hugging Face alongside the evaluation processes. In its version 1.0, we have a total of 543 MCQs, ranging from pulmonology, dermatology, psychiatry, dentistry, and endocrinology. The main difference is that in most of the MCQs, there is more than one correct choice. As can be seen here in an example, from the dermatology domain, C and D are the correct choices. As for the benchmark, we have various difficulty settings and domain settings. In the first one, we only test specifically in a specialty chosen by the available ones, where we give a partial credit for partial correct choices, full credit if all choices are correct for every question. And a mistake penalty of half a point is also accounted if a wrong choice is made. In the beta difficulty setting, we use 50% per specialty, where again, the scoring system is the same. And for the production, we use the full data set with the same scoring system, which allow us to target specific weaknesses, restructure prompts if required, and rules of contact, or provide the model fine-tuning suggestions. So, as I already said, alongside the dataset, there is an evaluation system, which here is algorithmically presented, and it's developed in Python. It's free to use and available on Hugging Face. As for our use case, we utilize GPT-4 on the CogNetMD framework on the beta difficulty setting. So for a total of about 270 questions, full credit was awarded 168 times. 170 penalties were given for mistakes as wrong choices made, resulting in a total deduction of 58.5 points, leading to a 55.54 total accuracy. As can be seen here, most of the mistakes, the less full credit was given to dermatology. Again, there is great variance between specialties. Our main conclusion was that in dermatology, because of the number of correct choices per question was greatly varied, the model could not reason well and provide all the correct choices per question. As can be seen here, for 26 questions, there are 2 correct choices. For 30 questions, 3. And for 12 of the total questions in this domain, 4 choices were correct, leading to a lot of mistakes and penalties. So, as per the highlights of the presentation, we presented a new benchmark for the evaluation of LLM responses in the medical domain, incorporating a data set of MCQs curated by medical experts alongside an evaluation framework. GPT-4 was evaluated and shown 55% accuracy in the data set and MCQs used. As a conclusion, we saw that it failed to get correct choices where questions more than one should be correct. As per our future research, we intend to expand and extend Cognitive MD with additional MCQs and multimodal paradigms and additional tests, and also aim to test other models which are considered now state-of-the-art, like Claude, Mistral, and Llama. Thank you very much for your attention. I'll be happy to answer any questions, if you have any.
I would like to ask you one question.
Yeah.
What is the future work that you intend to do in this research?
Yeah, mostly we wanted to create it to test our own applications and provide some validation results. As per this particular database, we plan to extend it with more MCQs and more medical specialties.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, ma'am and sir. Now, we are moving towards the next presentation of the day. For the next presentation, I would like to call Noor Sehgal for the paper title, Connecting Generation Through Housing, a Solution to Loneliness and Housing Affordability. I request presenter to kindly proceed with your presentation.
Hi everyone, this is Noor from India. I will be presenting my research paper right now. I'll just share my screen. Can you all see my screen? Can you all see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
It's visible to us.
Yeah. So it's for creating a thriving community where the elderly can find purpose, combat loneliness, and improve their overall well-being one at a time. So I did extensive research where in secondary research I reviewed around like several research papers, journal articles, and in primary research as well. I ended up interviewing many stakeholders over telephones or even video conferencing and in person as well. And from my secondary research, I found out that around 15,000 Indians turn 60 and every day and step into the senior citizen category. And even though this is the very big statistics, they are still gravely overlooked. There is no one who's making any intervention for them, and they are very overlooked. And it is predicted that in the next 7 years, India will emerge as the most populous country in the world, within the current senior citizen population of 130 million, expected to reach nearly 300 plus million, constituting 20% of the population. When an individual also reaches at the age of 60, they encounter a numerous number of challenges, such as health issues, and even if one individual is retired, they also end up not focusing on their mental health and physical health as well. And also there's emptiness syndrome as well. And even in general, in old age, there are many such issues that arise, and they can lead to psychological problems as well. And there's also lack of peer group interaction for them, so they end up feeling pretty individual, end up feeling pretty technologically outdated as well. So it is also, many studies have been done that signifies the fact that it is very important for them to be socially active, to not a great extent, but still to an extent where they meet other people and they step out and they engage in social activities, and which gives them happiness and maintains their physical and cognitive functioning, and also reduces their risk of disability in activities of daily living and mobility. And I did similar research for even emptiness syndrome and uh, uh, old age as well, and retirement. And it all, there's a correlation between being like getting old, and then also your mental health also decreasing if you don't have the correct support system and correct support system in place. So after doing some market study, I realized I came across many several apps which are focusing on them, but not in a very holistic manner. So there's a very new startup in India as well, and they also have a system of where elderly get to connect with the younger generation, but the interaction is only till there. There's like, it's not holistic, like I said. And then abroad also there are some services which are for assisted living without real estate, and also like providing them with like medicines and similar things. So there's nothing which is very holistic, and that is where I wanted to uh, do an intervention for the elderly. So my I proposed silver homes, which is it's an application, it's a platform for the elderly where they can connect with renters who are also looking for a place, but at the same time they also want to connect with the elderly as well. So it aims to transform living spaces into vibrant communities and connecting generations, and addressing the challenges of loneliness as well as housing affordability, which is in fact another like big issues. So it's sort of like trying to solve two problems at once in a platform based app. So what the app does is that it lets you create an account, and it also now tries to focus on accessibility and personalization, basically anything and everything that the elderly would want, and like give them assistance with using the app as well. Or they can ask someone else also for using, like for them to use the app for them. And on the other side, they the renters can also provide their requirement. And so like this app also is supposed to like hold community events, like for if you are an elderly, you can join the app from that profile, and it lets you participate in your community more, and you also get to feel part of the community, not just the like in your generation but also the younger generation as well. So there will be lesser technological issues, and also lesser generation gap as well. So yeah. For accessibility as well, since if a particular elderly is facing any issues, then they can also avail WhatsApp features where they can easily get help, because if they are like a little bit technologically savvy, they can use WhatsApp and get assistance, or else they can also like the aim is to provide them assistance 24/7. Yeah. And yeah, I'm done.
Thank you, ma'am.
I just want to ask one thing, that this app will connect them with whom? The idea is not very clear. No.
So the app is focused on connecting them with the youth, not just the youth, even beyond the youth, so that they also don't feel so technologically alienated, and in general also alienated from the society, because it is proven by many studies that in engaging in social activity and everything would help them as well, and it will in at the end of the day it will reduce the generation gap as well.
So basically, it is just about being connected with people, right?
Yeah, connecting generations through housing. Yeah.
Yeah, but how housing is helping? Are you giving them suggestions for
So no, like
looking at
yeah,
finding
I'm so
homes
sorry.
or
No, no.
something?
No, I'm so sorry. It is like for example, my parents are very old, and so my sister and I, we have shifted out of our place, and now they do feel like, they do say like that, oh, there's empty nest and all, right? So after like once you realize that yeah, you do want to interact with the youth more or something, you can, like, it's a way to just if you have like an extra space in your house, like an extra room or something, you can rent it out.
So basically, old age people can rent the house, right?
No, like, so they can rent out their house, so in a way they will also like get to spend time with the youth, and like youth should also understand that they also need to be like there for them, and not just like the idea is that yeah, both of them would be there for each other.
And how did you cater to the security aspect of this?
So security is
Because
something
if I'm
like
keeping
because
some, if old people are keeping someone in their house,
hmm
there should some security aspects should be covered, isn't it?
No, that is completely true. Even the interviews, this was brought up. So, security from like right now, what I could think of was that we can have like background checks, and anything. For example, any person who's renting out their house, they have to do is like they will also have to do similar things. Like if any individual in general, not just elderly, when they have to rent out their house, whatever they have to do, like the normal procedure, they will have to follow. There will be rigorous background checks, and they'll make sure that there'll be a level of security as well.
Actually, basically, that is one of the biggest problems in India when elders have to rent their house, security becomes a major concern. So, if they are just renting their house or their rooms to youth using some app, security aspect is a major concern that has to be taken care of,
Yes,
isn't
yeah.
it?
There's definitely like I have to work on it, like for future scope. Yeah.
There
Thank you,
are
ma'am.
again many parameters that you need to work upon.
Yes, yes.
Okay, all the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. So, Latika, ma'am, do you have any questions? So, ma'am is not having any questions. So, let's move towards the next presentation of the day. For the next presentation, I would like to call Romulo Girardi for the paper titled Development of Management Artifacts for the Front End of Innovation Using Design Science Research, a Literature Review. I request presenter to kindly proceed with your presentation.
Hi everyone, could you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Romulo from Brazil, and I'm going to present my article entitled Development of Management Artifacts for the Front End of Innovation Using Design Science Research, a Literature Review. In my presentation, I'm going to follow the summary, where each topic is a section of the article. Well, innovation management is a broad and complex organizational process that covers everything from the search of new opportunities and ideas to their implementation. Research shows that organizations should employ structured procedures in this initial phase of the innovation process, known as the front end of innovation, to avoid problems through the innovation management chain. In this figure, we can see the breakdown of the product innovation management process. First, we have the front end of innovation, where new products are conceived in the organizations. Then the second part is the new product development phase, where these new products are developed, integrated, and tested. And finally, the last phase is the implementation phase, where this new product is introduced into the market. Studies have sought to develop approaches for structuring the front end of innovation in specific context, including the use of the iterative design science research approach. This approach involves create artifacts theoretically grounded and practically relevant. And despite the availability of DSR applications for developing front-end of innovation management tools in scientific database, we didn't identify the studies that have conducted a macro analysis of these applications. Then, our article aims to fill this gap, presenting a systematic literature review on the development of fame management artifacts using DSR. Then our research question was, how can DSR be employed in developing the front end of innovation management artifacts? Our methodology followed these three strategies. We considered the Web of Science and Scopus databases. Our research string combined terms of the front end of innovation and the design science approach, and targeting these terms in title, abstract, and keywords of the documents. And our inclusion criteria considered documents in Portuguese, English, or Spanish, the content fully available of the documents, and the publication should explicitly be about the use of DSR in developing artifacts for the front end of innovation management. Here we have the Prisma diagram established tool for support literature reviews. And in the identification phase, we collect 14 documents, 7 from Scopus database and 7 from the Web of Science database. 6 duplicated records were removed. Then, in the screening phase, we received 8 documents. 1 document was removed because it was outside the inclusion criteria, and 4 documents were added using the snowball technique. Then 11 documents were included in our review. In this table, we have a summary. In the first column, we have a reference to each document. In the second column, we have the artifact developed in each research. In the third column, we have the classification of the artifact developed, considering these frameworks that classified the types of DSR artifacts. And in the last column, we have the classification about what activities of the front end of innovation were contemplated in the artifact. And for this classification, we consider this review and these seminal works about the front end of innovation. After analyzing the results, first we identified highlights on ontological development, because the review identified that this approach was a prominent approach being employed in approximately 45% of the documents. About contributions. In terms of literature, our review is the first to systematically analyze the development of front-end of innovation management artifacts using the design science research approach. And in terms of practical application, our review offers valuable insights for new research initiatives aiming to employ DSR in this process. Concerning limitations of the research, our classification was solely based on these frameworks about DSR types of artifacts, and the identification of the front end of innovation activities exclusively relied on this review and in these seminal works. And finally, for future research, we suggested that they can focus on the empirical validation of the identified artifacts and the exploration of new approaches for the front end of innovation management. And here are the references used in our research. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, sir. Ma'am, do you have any questions?
Yes, I would like to ask something about the languages, because you said that your research is based on documents in English, Spanish, Portuguese. Do you plan also include other languages, documents on other languages?
Okay. Well, we put these criteria considering the language that the authors have fluency. In this case, Portuguese, Spanish, and English. And we consider these criteria because these languages is the ones that we can actually read and understand well the content of the documents. Other language, we will need to rely in translation tools, and it could be dangerous. Now, because of this, we consider these criteria about specific languages.
Yes, I understand, but maybe in future you can invite also native speakers of other languages in the research.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, thank you for the idea. And it's true, if we invite other people for other countries, we could use a wider collection of languages in our research.
Yes. The research is very interesting. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Now we are moving towards the next presentation. For the next presentation, I would like to call Toshifumi Matsuda for the paper title Events versus Athletes versus Venus Effect of Corporate Sports Sponsorship on Repurchase Intentions. I request presenter to kindly proceed with their presentation.
Could
You
you
can
please?
share the presentation to me over chat. I will share it with you on behalf of you.
Okay.
We are moving towards the next presentation.
Yes.
So let's move towards the next presentation. For the next presentation, I would like to call Nawal for the paper title Exploring the Landscape of Digital Transformation in Small and Medium Enterprise, a Bibliometric Analysis. I request presenter to kindly proceed with your presentation.
Hello everyone.
Hello, ma'am.
Do you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible to us.
Okay, I will share my. Oh. It's clear for you?
Yes, ma'am, the screen is visible to us.
Do you see my chair?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so hello everyone. First of all, I would like to thank the organizing committee for this opportunity. So my name is Nawal Elhian. I'm a PhD student in Culturing between University of Mons in Belgium and University Ibn Zawi University in Morocco. So my paper is about exploring the landscape of digital transformation in small and medium enterprises, a bibliometric analysis. So to approach our paper, we're gonna adopt the following plan. So we're gonna start with introduction, research question, methodology, results, and conclusion. So during the last decade, the concept of digital transformation has sparked the interest of researchers from different disciplines. This amounts to the evolution of digital technologies that are fundamentally changing processes, relationships, products, and services, and pushing companies to radically change the organization of work and build a new balance in its ecosystem. So, in fact, the definitions of digital transformation differ from the practice of technologies to improvements in processes, customer relations, operations, and performance to contribute to the creation of new business models. So, digital transformation is empowered by two cores, technology and organizational change. So in terms of technology, it means the implication of information technology in a business's production process. And in terms of organizational change, digital transformation is mainly based on changes in business model and organizational processes to enhance the business performance. So actually, digital transformation has become a critical factor of new business strategy, which plays an essential role in the creation, resilience, success, and sustainability of organizations, particularly for small and medium sized enterprises. So in light of the significance of digital transformation for small and medium enterprises, over the past decade, a comprehensive bibliometric analysis was conducted to systematically assess the evolution of research in this domain. So this bibliometric analysis delves into the evolution of research in digital transformation of small and medium enterprises over the past 10 years. So our study aims to elaborate an overview of the global literature on digital transformation and its applications in small and medium enterprises, focusing on the period from 2040 to 2054. So to make a detailed overview to our study, we will try to answer the following question. What is the current state of SMEs regarding digital transformation? So to address the research question, our study uses the bibliometric approach and consensus analysis. It aims to understand the development of the topic. Of course, this bibliometric analysis is conducted by following the preferred reporting items for systematic review.
Excuse me, we see only the first page of your presentation.
Because wait. Now you see?
Yeah, now we see the methodology.
Okay. You see the methodology now? No.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
we see methodology.
Okay.
This slide,
Perfect.
yes.
So I said that our study used a sample. So for the level 2 of our methodology is information gathering. So our study used a sample of research publications collected by Scopus and Springer Link. Of course, these two databases known by its quality and its credibility, which ensures the quality of the relevant scientific studies gathered. Then other tools use it to research, analyze, and interpret the data collected and address the research question accurately. The study is based on Microsoft Excel and Covidence. Also, the research focused on research published between 2014 and 2024. So to collect an important number of relevant studies, we create a data extraction sheet including keywords related to digital transformation and small and medium enterprises. Of course, each selected paper was examined manually, ultimately resulting in a total of 590 relevant searches. This number of studies was focused on inclusion and exclusion criteria chosen by reviewers as you can see. So in fact, this selection was carried out only on English open access articles published in the area of business and management during the period, as I said now. So to make an exhaustive examination, we were passed to screening and data abstraction stage via Covidence tool. So two phases carried out at this level as follow. First of all, screening of the title and abstract by looking at the title and the abstract, of course.
We are able to see the methodology slide only.
Excuse me?
We are able to see the methodology slide.
Can you tell me what you say now?
The slide
we are
with
able
methodology. We
Okay.
see only this slide.
I have a problem. Okay. Mhm. Now,
Now we see the next slide.
screen and data abstraction. Yes.
Figure one.
Figure one, yes. So as I said, to make an exhaustive examination, we were passed to screening and data abstraction stage via confidence tool. So two phases here carried out at this level as follows. So first of all, we screen the title and the abstract of each article. So by looking at the title and the abstract, we can identify if the article could be relevant to our research questions or not. So in our case, we kept 355 articles. And for this, the level two is screening the full text. In this phase, we examined the full text that include at the first phase. At the end, we kept 102 studies. So let's move to the main results. So here, our results are divided into bibliometric analysis and content analysis. For the first part of our results, bibliometric analysis, we were gonna start by keywords co-occurrence analysis. So first of all, when we talk about bibliometric analysis, we talk about a quantitative method used to evaluate patterns of publication, citation, and collaboration within a specific field of study. So the study focused on our study uh, focused on investigating the connections and structures among keywords derived from author provided keywords, title, and abstract. So, by examining the map of keywords co-occurrence, researchers can discern the interrelationships and patterns among different keywords. So, in this visual representation, I know that the figure is not clear, but I try to translate to the result that we had. So, as I said, in this visual representation, nodes symbolize the keywords themselves, while the edges that link them signify the connections or associations between these terms. The keywords
Sorry
network
to
as
interrupt, ma'am, but you have 2 minutes to conclude.
And we
uh,
still see only figure one.
okay. Wait,
And you have 2 minutes to conclude, ma'am.
okay. Uh, Now you see results.
We see figure two results, yes.
Okay, so by examining the map of keywords, so we divide our analysis into four cluster. For the cluster one, digital transformation challenges for small and medium enterprises. So, implementing digital transformation in small and medium enterprises poses several challenges that need to be addressed for successful integration. One significant challenge is limited resources, both concerning of budget and skilled personnel. So, as we know, SMEs often operate on tighter budgets compared to larger corporations, making it difficult for them to invest in expensive digital technologies essential for digital transformation, putting SMEs at the disadvantage in today's competitive market. For the cluster two, enhancing value and perspective for small and medium enterprises. As we know, digital transformation has significantly impacted small and medium enterprises by revolutionizing their operations, customer interactions, and overall business model. For cluster three, digital transformation efficiency and cost consideration for SMEs. So, digital transformation can significantly increase the efficiency of small and medium enterprises by streamlining process, improving communication, and increasing productivity. So, by leveraging digital tools and technologies, SMEs could minimize manual errors, automate repetitive tasks, and accelerate decision process. For the cluster 4, the last one, digital transformation driving growth, success, and benefits for small and medium enterprises. In the contemporary business landscape, digital transformation has emerged as a critical driver of growth, success, and benefits for small and medium enterprises. So, by embracing digital technologies and integrating them into their operations, SMEs can boost their streamlined processes, competitiveness, and unlock new opportunity for
Sorry
expansion.
to interrupt, ma'am, but you have 1 minute to conclude. Kindly,
Okay,
please.
okay. Let's move to content analysis. Mm, So, for the content analysis, we can say that the results of our study will revealed that the number of SMEs adopting and using digital technologies is growing, especially those operating in the manufacturing sector. So, the artificial intelligence, big data analytics, cloud technology, Internet of Things, of things, um, are the most technology traced by researchers follow it. So, indeed, companies that undertake the journey to become digital businesses and compete with digital businesses open themselves to a range of opportunities. So the use of digital tools allows companies to free staff from daily work and allow them to concentrate on missions with more added value, improve commercial and operational functions. Likewise, highlight that it offers benefits such as improved transparency and control of operation expenses on IT system. So, data collection and analysis increased integration of business application transforms analog process into streamlined and efficient digital process. Of course, the application of digital transformation is a sophisticated process associated with a set of factors that can conduct to the success of this process or not. So, identify the main factors that change to increase opportunities for success is a necessary preliminary condition for successful digital transformation. However, although the digital transformation brings many advantages, several difficulties and limitations can be noted. So, according to to studies, it was revealed that companies could face internal and external challenges when executing the digital transformation. Of course, using digital technologies can respond to three main internal challenges. First of all, financing insufficient resource investment, high transformation costs. Second, human resource in terms of skills, cultural traditions, resistant to change. And the last one is unclear transformation pathways, complexity, and the attempt to achieve the level of privacy and security. So, to conclude, um, to conclude, the findings reveal a growing trend of SMEs adopting digital technologies, particularly in the manufacturing sector. So, key technologies like cloud, IA, are driving digital transformation initiative. While the study provides a comprehensive review of the current state of digital transformation in SMEs, there are certain gaps that warrant further exploration. So future research could delve deeper into the specific challenges faced by different industry sectors within the SME landscape and investigate the long-term impacts of digital transformation on organizational performance and innovation. So in order to recognize the contrast of this research, it is essential to highlight certain aspects that may impact the validity and reliability of the findings. So these limitations encompass the reliance on existing literature and the potential bias in the selection of research articles. So the scope of our analysis may not capture all nuances of digital transformation in SMEs, and further empirical studies are needed to validate the findings and explore additional factors influencing digital adoption SMEs. So looking ahead, future research in the field of digital transformation for SMEs should focus on addressing the identified gaps and exploring emerging technologies and strategies that can drive successful digital
Excuse me.
initiatives in SMEs. And
Naval,
thank you
please.
for
Hello.
and thank you for your attention.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello?
Ma'am, do you have any questions?
Yes, I would like to ask how many enterprises did you include in your research?
As I said, that we just focus on literature. We didn't integrate any enterprises, but in the future we will of course we will of course realize an empirical study, which we
Yeah.
will integrate a lot of SMEs.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, we are moving towards our next presentation. For the next presentation, I would like to call Toshifumi Matsuda for the paper title Events versus Athlete versus Winners Effect of Corporate Sports Sponsorship on Repurchase Intention. Sir, you can proceed with your presentation.
Okay.
Sir, I have shared you the screen on behalf of you. I'm just giving you the control.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for your time today. As I'm not comfortable with English, I will be using script for my presentation. Title is comparing the effect of corporate sports sponsored on the purchase intention. Okay. Okay. The following the explanation of the agenda. First, background and objectives. This image shows a club team in European football. Although this is just one sample, many companies use sports sponsorships to enhance their corporate image and boost purchase like food. Today marks the momentum opening day of Paris Olympic. The Olympic game, Coca-Cola company is a global partner dedicated to ensuring the Olympic experience is lasting one for both athlete and fan. Second, regarding sponsorship of athletes, McDonald's employs the service of Chinese basketball star Yao Ming to promote the brand among Asian audiences. Also, in the food industry, where the company main products such as beverage and hamburgers have little to do with sports activities, play a role in support the corporate brand image. According to previous studies, have categorized sports sponsorship into three categories: events, athlete, and venues. Regarding problem with previous research, despite the significant difference in investment amounts, these categories are often discussed separately. There are few studies that compare the effects across these classifications. This research was conducted as a collaboration between Santry and Professor Kato of Meiji University. Let me introduce Santry. Founded in 1899, Santry is Japanese food and beverage manufacturer that also operates in the UK. For example, Rangine and Lucozade. Regarding awareness of the program, in insufficient verification, there is a lack of study that confirm the effects of comparing the three categories. Increasing investment, companies tend to invest more in projects that show promise. Long-term commitment. Once invest, company often find it challenging to withdraw quickly, leading to increased cost burdens due to past decision. So, regarding objective, examine which categories of sports sponsorship contribute most to customer loyalty in U.S. Food industry. Regarding approach, based on a customer survey of 7 major food brands in U.S., the propensity score method is applied to perform the verification. Related research. Sponsorship of a sporting event is a popular marketing strategy for companies worldwide, as it helps enhance their corporate brand image. As brand value increase over time, sponsorship costs continue to rise. Coca-Cola strong association with the Olympic has significantly boosted its brand image. Second, the second category is the effect of sponsorship on athletes, as consumers often associate brand with the reputation of athletes. Using celebrities as brand endorsers has become common practice. Athletes are particularly persuasive because their success lends credibility to their endorsement, make their opinion appear more genuine. For example, Nike collaboration with Tiger Woods on golf ball resulted in a price premium due to his influence. An example of sponsoring sports venue is naming rights. Companies benefit for increased brand awareness and enhanced corporate image as a result. Method. From September 2023, we conducted an online survey with 400 individuals aged 20 to 60 in the US. The survey was contributed through Cross Marketing Inc.'s global panel. There is a 7 question as follows: gender, age, involvement in food product, favorite brand, intention to purchase favorite brand, evaluation of 5 aspects of the preferred brand, evaluation of sports sponsorships. As shown, Coca-Cola and McDonald's, Starbucks are the top 3 brands. In question 5 through 7, responses were measured on a 5-point Likert scale, where 1 represents strongly disagree and 5 represents strongly agree. Regarding verification, since the event, athlete, and venue of interest in this study cannot be randomly assigned, we adapted the propensity scores method. The ATE is estimated using IPW, which involves weighting the reciprocal of the propensity score. Propensity score were estimated using logistic regression models, with the objective variable being a binary indicator for high rating of each sponsorship. For the variable in question 16 through 18, respondent who selected the highest recording of 5 were coded as 1, while all other responses were coded as 0. Okay. As shown, when they examine the percentage of highest rating for each sponsorship by brand, Coca-Cola receives the highest rating. Across all brands, the event category receives strong impressions. As shown, the result of the logistic regression model showed the high fit with C statistics exceeding 0.8. All models sponsorship of model 1 event is valued by many young people. A brand that like Coca-Cola and Pepsi and has a strong image of corporate brand and advertisement. The propensity score estimate by the model was used to estimate the ATPE. AT using IPW revealed significant positive effect for athlete sponsorship and significant negative effect for event sponsorship. The venue category was 95% confidence interval that include 0, indicating no significant effect. Therefore, it can be concluded that sponsoring athletes is the most effective strategy for enhancing the purchase intent. When company allocated limited resources to sports sponsorship, they should prioritize athlete. Practitioners tend to focus on large-scale events, but consumers dislike and tend to avoid advertising. Okay. Therefore, there are two main limitations of this study. First, since the number of countries and industries is limited, future expansion is essential. Second, it does not take into account the type of sports that are effective. Third, esports are not eligible. Esports has the potential to grow more and more, so it should be included in the consideration. Thank you for attention. That is all for explanation.
It was an interesting talk. So, how will you take this research further? Are you able to hear me? So, Shifumi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear.
The research topic is very interesting.
Yes, thank you.
So, what are the future plans?
Future plan? えI want to research more country and more case. For example, Asian market and the European market. I tried the same survey.
Thank you, sir. Mom, do you have another question?
What about Japanese market? You will include it?
So, yes. As you say, I had better survey in Japan market.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Now we are moving towards the next presentation of the day. For the next presentation, I would like to call Cornet Divan for the paper title Students Question the Need for of Information System Education, a Qualitative Analysis. I request presenter to kindly proceed with their presentation.
Thank you very much. I'm just trying to share here. Can you indicate whether you can see my screen?
Yes, ma'am. Your screen is visible to us.
Okay. All right. Can you still see it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, colleagues. I'm Professor Corneille van Staden, and colleagues that have worked with me is Prof. Sunette Eybers and Prof. Jan Kruse. And we looked at the students questioning the need for Africanization of information systems education, and we conducted a qualitative study. So Africanization is a way to decolonize and transform the education environment, and the students were required to apply their theoretical principles to localized scenarios that raised awareness of the need for African academic Africanization and nurturing the critical thinking skills. The teaching and learning intervention took place during the COVID period, and the need to localize information systems in human-computer interaction as a module, as well as business analysis subdiscipline was identified. African case studies were used as an open distance learning institution in South Africa and shared with the students to use during their assignments. So Africanization refers to the inclusion of African culture aspects during the process of localization. However, finding the balance between localization and upholding global standards in higher education curriculum becomes a challenge. Incorporating of Western and African constructs in higher education is open for critique. Theoretical principles can also be applied in localized scenarios to raise awareness of the need for Africanization in academia. Internationalization of the curriculum in higher education, it is very important to understand that cultural differences and enhancing the ability to interact sensitively across all cultures. So the literature review indicated that it is important to adapt the curriculum for African environments and to compare it with the constructs for Africa. So if something is working in America or US or UK or in Asia, it's not necessarily working in Africa. So in African ways of knowledge creation are largely absent, and there was a need identified to incorporate that into our literature. So the theoretical gap in the study was then identified. The student voices can be used to enrich and design management of knowledge, resulting in moving indigenous knowledge systems from margins of thinking to its center. The research methodology that we followed was to a constructive research philosophy. We used random sampling. We had 703 students between the two modules. We used a mixed method approach. A quantitative survey using SurveyMonkey was used with open-ended questions. Participants' narrative remarks were analyzed in this article, and 137 of the respondents' work could be analyzed, and we used Atlas DI together with thematic analysis to analyze their responses. An external research analyst then also was used to avoid bias. Thick descriptions were provided and data collected was triangulated across the two modules. Then out of the results, 6 different themes emerged. So the next few slides then focuses on the 6 themes that emerged. The first one was Africanization case application. Participants felt that the course content lacked sufficient Afrocentric examples. At the same time, they experienced the intervention to apply theory constructs using localized case studies as forced. So some of them didn't appreciate it. The perspectives provided in the textbook views the world from a Western perspective, which prompts contextualization for African students. So it was sometimes necessary to then contextualize and put it in their context so that they could understand it. So some of the students then also felt that user experience is a global phenomenon and that it is important to keep it at a global level. So they asked the question, why force Africanization onto students who are possibly intending to immigrate out of Africa and possibly look them into ways that they would not be exposed to the world. So it was important for them that they need to know about the world outside. The benefits of the material for the student is that they could relate to the African narratives, and acknowledgement was given to the fact that there is a need to Africanize some of the material and to bring it home so that they can also relate to it. Maybe to just put in context as well, UNISA is a university in South Africa that is not just taking in South African students, we have a worldwide presence. So it's not just African students or South African students in our institution. The second criteria that theme that emerged was critical thinking application to context. Assignments encourage critical thinking aspects and cognitive abilities. The program design is from a Western culture, but the students also realized that they need the programs and operating systems. It is functioning in the Western cultures. Students' perspectives relating to aligning theoretical concepts and constructs, the course material helped them to visualize the theoretical aspects relating to the elements of HEI and BI in Africa's Afrocentric perspectives and how they would accommodate Africanization in technological environments and in their modules. Students understood the Western elements associated with English-based programming languages, yet some felt lost with the Africanness and felt excluded from the perspective. Feedback and evaluation process. A lack of appropriate material was identified. No feedback from staff, so the context, the study was conducted during COVID, so there was a bit of a problem with the translation and the limited access to information. The libraries, we were not allowed to open our library as well. However, they could access the library electronically. And then assignment feedback can be provided, and it was provided, but exams, we normally do not provide feedback to the students. So maybe to just put that into perspective. Systems were overwhelming due to the increase in digital activities for the students. Then tuition support component was also identified as a theme, and different opinions were voiced by the students. They also indicated that the e-tutors was very sufficient in their support, and it really helped them to understand the concepts and to apply it and to relate to that African concepts, then how Western cultures and Western contexts can be applied in an African context. Lack of support, some felt that the lecturers failed to address the students' comments and rendered quality service. They deemed the course topics interesting, but felt that Africanization aspects was not acceptable. Online teaching issues, participants experienced online issues with tuition process. Some had bad problems gaining relevant information as well. Insufficient interaction with the lecturing staff was due to the lack of resources, the impact of COVID pandemic, and the time differences between students and the lecturers in different countries. E-tutors recorded their seminars, and that was then shared on our local platform where students could then access the information at the time that suited them. Tuition tools and applications. The lack of material and data support, specifically then in Africanization, was the students felt that they didn't have the required materials. tools or data to fully complete the assignments, and students had to use their own data and devices. That was in the opinion of the students. However, the institution did give some data to the students to assist them in their studies. Consultation of own resources, students asked several critical questions about laptops and internet connectivity. And in the institution, we also had to move to an online examination session, and there were no face-to-face exams, for example. So students had to use their laptops or PCs to then write. And in some cases, students didn't have these devices to write the exam, which was a bit of a limitation and caused some challenges. Limited apps, there are limited tools unique to South Africa.
Sorry to interrupt, ma'am, but you have 2 minutes to conclude.
Thank you, I'm almost finished. There are limited tools that are unique to South Africa, and some stated that they didn't need African apps to understand how African approach apps design is needed. However, a need has been identified that South African students need to start looking into this area and field. User frustration in user interface design. The user interface design is key for the human-machine interaction, and consistent with the user interaction design was deemed more important than localizing the work. Western influence and barriers, reevaluating Western elements in design context of Africanization should be taught. South African context is diverse and can be difficult for African design principles in the universe. Study material to fit global market and ICT, that is a global language, is very important. Outdated information, HI content in text need to be updated with practical examples. So the discussion and conclusion then, overall, the students were happy with the theory and felt examples and elaboration should have focused more on the African application. Assignments forced the students to think out of the box and to consider this. So we met the criteria here and the offset of what we plan to do by letting the students engage with the theory, and not just learning the theory, but actually applying the theory and developing their and nurturing their higher level order thinking skills. The students also experienced the e-tutors as helpful and insightful, and the students expressed the need to prepare work in an international market. Students were required to apply the theoretical principles to localized scenarios that raised awareness of the need for it.
Sorry for interrupting in between, Professor. We have read the discussion point. Maybe you can move towards the conclusion.
That is the conclusion. That's the end of my presentation. And I would just like to thank my colleagues, Prof. Jan Kruse, as well as Sunette Eibers, who assisted, and then the National Research Foundation that supported us financially. Thank you.
So it was a
ma'am.
great research, Professor CJ Van Staden. So I think it is an application-based research, right? And you can implement it in South Africa.
Yes.
So what are the plans? How are you planning to implement the results that you have gathered from your research? How will you Africanize your studies?
How we will Africanize the studies is to identify the different needs of the different areas in Africa, not just in South Africa. So catering for the different cultures within the bigger African context and continent. So yeah, and to make sure that we cater for all cultures within that in our study material.
You will be developing the study material in local languages. By that, do you mean this?
So we are using Africanization in our institution, specifically for 12 different languages. So the institution is busy with a process of converting material and study material into 12 different languages in South Africa, and then they will start expanding it, which makes it is a humongous task, but that is part of the plan, and to then identify areas where we have different scenarios in Africa compared to the Western culture.
Okay. So other than, I just want to understand, other than language translation, what aspects will you be considering for this Africanization of education?
I think specifically in the two modules that we've identified is looking at the specific content of information systems. How does it cater for the African context, that we bring in more work in that area and recommend that, either maybe developing textbooks in the field that one can then also recommend, not just in this particular, in human-computer interaction specifically. We will focus on that specific field.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Now we are moving forward for the closing remarks. I sincerely thank all our authors for the excellent presentation and contribution in this session, and all our participants for being a part of this international conference. I hope this session was informative enough. We, on behalf of the whole team, thank you for your support during the 8th version and the previous 7th version of the conference. We'll be happy to have you in the 9th version in 2025. All the presenters would be getting their digital certificates through email within 2 working days. Further, all the papers have already forwarded to the Springer. The publication will be live within 6 months. Kindly cooperate with the team of World S4 2024. I also thank our session chair, Dr. Anubhava Jain, for chairing the session. Ma'am, this is a token of appreciation on behalf of Team World S4 and Global Knowledge Research Foundation and partners. Ma'am, I request you to share some words with us.
Thank you, Karthik. The presentations were wonderful. And all the researchers are working wonderfully, and they are motivating us to work more towards researching on application-based area. So I congratulate all of them and wish them best of the luck for their future. They should enhance their research upon the feedback given by me and Zelentina ma'am. And Zelentina ma'am, I would like to add that I'm planning to visit Sofia in September. So I would definitely love to meet you, ma'am, in person.
Okay, you are welcome, of course.
So I'll connect with you, ma'am. Maybe if you can share your email ID in chat. Or are you on LinkedIn, ma'am?
No, I'm in my
So
country now, but my mail is available in the conference, and
okay.
you can contact me.
So I'll
It will be a
definitely visit the
pleasure.
university.
Yeah,
Yes,
it will
I
be
would
a
like to
pleasure
visit.
for me to meet you, of course. Of course.
Yes, ma'am, I would also like to meet the professors of computer science department at your university. So I'm coming to the beautiful city of Sofia.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
It will be
ma'am,
a
looking
great
forward.
pleasure for me. Yes.
Yes, looking forward to see you there, ma'am. I'll mail you
Thank you.
the details.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
ma'am,
ma'am.
for such warm words. Now, I would love to extend my gratitude towards our next session chair, Professor Zalantika, for chairing the session. Ma'am, this is the token of appreciation on behalf of Team World S4 and Global Knowledge Research Foundation and partners. Ma'am, I request you to please share some words with our participants.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to chair this very interesting session. I would like to thank all the presenters for their very interesting research, for their efforts in different areas. And really, it will be the discussion which happens here will be very useful for their future development of their research. And I'm sure that this conference will be really very, very useful. And I wish success also to the next conference. Also, I would like to thank the organizers for the very good organization of everything. And hope to meet you again next year.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for such nice words and your valuable presence. Now, I request everyone to kindly turn on their cameras for a quick snapshot of the virtual conference. Thank you, everyone, for your valuable presence and time. Take care, stay safe. Bye-bye. Hope we will meet in 2025 once again. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye,
you,
sir.
Karthik. Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
ma'am.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
ma'am. Bye-bye, ma'am. Thank you, sir.